Hi everyone, welcome to Practically the channel. Today we are starting a new series of videos related to Microsoft hardening of Kerberos RC4. In this video, we are going to technically cover what Kerberos is and how their encryption types work. But in upcoming content, we are going to show you how to work this in a lab environment. Let's go with the video. Let's start by defining Kerberos. Kerberos is a user and password-based authentication protocol, primarily used by Active Directory. AD has also another user and password-based protocol called NTLM, an older and less secure protocol than Kerberos due to its design. Kerberos is a ticket-based protocol. After entering your credentials, a master ticket known as ticket granted ticket is generated. With this ticket, you can generate another other tickets for services. These tickets are called TGS or ticket granting services. Kerberos uses 5 types of encryption. These encryptions are used to create a hash of the user's password, making it like impossible to decrypt. There is a one-way function to encrypt this password, so there is no way to decrypt the password just by using the password. The only way to decrypt is by generating lots of different hashes based on different passwords, like a dictionary attack. Kerberos also uses encryption to encrypt its own tickets, which is known as the session key. Each TGS ticket is encrypted multiple times using different things like the service account password, the end user or computer account password. The TGT ticket is embedded on the service ticket as well. It also uses the current timestamp or the certificate's public key if we are authenticating with a certificate. One point to clarify, you can authenticate with Kerberos using a certificate because there is one extension to authenticate with a certificate. However, the user has a password as well, and it's encrypted with a password even when you are not using the password itself. When the password is changed, Active Directory generates a hash for each supported encryption type. So, in the case that your domain controllers support all encryption types, it will generate 5 encryption types. One for DES CVC CRC, another one for DES CVC MD5, another one for RC4, another one for AES 128, and another one for AES 256. The two DES encryption types are the least secure, and Microsoft stopped using them by default many years ago. Furthermore, they are no longer supported in Windows Server 25. So if you have a domain controller with Windows Server 2025 and no more domain controllers, okay, DES encryption is not going to be used anyway. RC4 encryption is more secure than DES encryption, but less secure than AES encryption. Therefore, Microsoft continues to implement hardening processes to prevent the use of RC4. AES 128 and AES 256 were introduced in Windows Server 2008 and Windows 7. Earlier operating systems do not support these ciphers, so Windows Server 2003 or Windows XP do not support RC4. That could be one of the reasons of why Microsoft has not yet completed the phased out of RC4. Third-party applications can still use RC4 as well, and that is another reason of why RC4 is still there. In November of 2022, Microsoft released an update that began implementing AES 256 as the default cipher for session keys, while RC4 remains the default encryption type for tickets. before that date, tickets were encrypted just with RC4 for both, for ticket and for session keys. Starting in April 2026, so in a few months, Microsoft will establish AES-256 for both, for tickets and for session keys. This hardening only affects service accounts that do not have their supported encryption types defined manually on the account itself. When we are talking about service account, we mean any user, computer, or MSA account that has at least one SPM. This hardening does not directly affect trust relationships or domain joined Windows computers. I want to clarify one point. I say that this hardening does not affect Windows computers, but do affect computer objects that are used as service accounts. So I'm going to specify more. When you join a machine to the domain, a Windows machine to the domain, one attribute is fulfilled, and that attribute is msDS-SupportedEncryptionTypes. That is why these machines are not affected. However, you can create a computer object, and that computer object could be linked to any application, so working as service account, okay? And if that is not a machine, a Windows machine that completed the domain join process, then the msDS supported ingredient types attribute can could be not fulfilled. And in that specific situation, it can affect this hardening. So this was the theoretical lesson. In the following videos, we are going to show you how to decipher the msDS supported ingredient types. I will show you also a workaround for this hardening. So there is just one way to avoid impact for a moment, but it's not something that I would recommend to in the long term. Okay. Another video, I will show you how to search the accounts that are going to be affected by this hardening. And in the last one, it will be a kind of step-by-step procedure on how to adapt to this hardening and avoid any impact at all. The following videos will be more practical than this one, that this is more theoretical, and I hope that it will help you and you will enjoy it. See you next video. Bye bye.